Hello guys, Showy here playing more Danganronpa. So let's see. Let's continue. We are here and people have been dying and getting resurrected or their corpses dragged or I don't know what's going on yet, so what do I have to do? I forgot. Let's go for help. Hey, don't tell me. Um, I forgot what we were doing the last time, sorry. I guess I was going this way. Rec room. I wonder where Kyoko is. I really wonder that. Um, I don't think I should be here. Let's go downstairs. Um, better look around this floor first. What am I looking around for? So let's see. What is this way? The Spare Squadron. Look, there are 3 of them. Like the 3 games that are there of this game, huh? I think that's what's going on here. Makoto, Celeste!
Come on.
Why are you just standing there? We need to get to the repository. You mean...
Indeed.
I found them. Hifumi and Taga's bodies have both been hidden in the repository.
Goodbye.
I've already told Hina and Sakura. We'll go on ahead. Their bodies were in the repository. And the repository is... Where's the repository? What's Toko doing there? And everybody's here. But what is Toko doing there? Oh, she's asleep. In the physics... Okay, never mind. So this is the repository in the art thingy. So... that is where they got the hammers from, right? Are the bodies here somewhere? Are they? What is that behind there? Like that green thing? Anyway, let's ask Byakuya. I have to wonder where they could have been hidden. What? Haven't you found them? Weren't they in the repository? Up ahead is the repository. The doorknob turned. I guess it's unlocked. You guess well. Then I have no choice but to go inside. No choice, huh? So I opened the door, and when I entered, I saw... You had already seen them. Why are you so surprised now? The 2 bodies that had disappeared were right there. The smell of blood made me gag. What I saw before my eyes was unquestionable, unavoidable, unwavering reality. And then I heard the announcement for a second time.
A body has been discovered after a certain amount of time, which you may...
Okay, so one of them was not dead previously, and that person carried the other one here, and now they're dead, both of them. So here we are.
It's the Monokuma file!
The Monokuma file. Without further ado, let me give you all the next Monokuma file. I was going to hand them out when you found the bodies the first time, but I thought something might happen.
What?
It was really hard to resist, but turns out I was right.
Stop talking.
Just hand it over already.
Punishment is waiting for you.
Now, make sure to investigate with all your mental might and prepare for the class trial.
See ya later!
See you later, you motherfucker. Well then. Now that we've found the bodies, all that's left is to uncover the culprit.
What the heck?
Hold on. How can you be so calm? I mean, they're dead, you know.
That's terrible.
Dead. Gone forever. They're never coming back. Oh, is Hina crying? Awful. Yes, awful. This is just too awful. Hina suddenly burst into tears. She clutched at Hifumi's lifeless body.
Who would do this?
The robot. The robot justice.
Why? Why?
Large, wet tears fell from her eyes. The tears landed on Hifumi's cheeks. If this were some world of make-believe, that might have been Hifumi opened his eyes. That this wasn't a movie. This wasn't.
He's alive again?
He was always alive. He's the one who carried Taka
Where
here.
am I? Cold. So cold. Is winter coming?
Such memes, even in death.
Hifumi! Wake up!
Wake the hell up, Hifumi.
Huh?
Huh?
Ah, that's right.
What is right?
I remember now. Hope's Peak.
Yes, Hope speak.
Come on, you gotta wake up!
Gotta wake up.
Everything.
What do you remember?
Before I met you all. I met you all.
His memories are all blending together. He has nothing useful to offer us.
The light.
Well, he was always weird. His reality and fiction always mix up.
It's reaching out to me. Like the tail of a comet. Hey, Hifumi! Who was it? Who attacked you? Who tried to kill you? Who killed me? That's right. I remember their name.
What name? Speak more clearly.
Yasu.
Yasu? Hiro? Really? His eyes closed, and they never opened again. Death for the second time. Absolute undeniable. Shut the fuck up, Makoto. Shut the frick up, Rabra. No matter how many more of Hina's tears splashed his face, there was no second miracle. Reality set in again. This isn't some stereotypical fantasy world. Tears can't restore a person's vitality.
Honestly,
You have no tears, do you? No blood in your veins, no calcium in your bones. At least you have your meat.
Stop talking.
You are just angry. Going out of his way to return, just to leave us with those unnecessary dying words. Now this game has become exceedingly boring. He said Yasuhiro, right?
then perhaps
Yasuhiro Hagakure. That is the only person he could have been referring to.
So, in other words,
And with that, the case is solved. Assaulting people and even killing Taka and Hifumi, and then going so far as to hide their bodies. A criminal that hides his face behind a mask, and uses a bunch of giant wooden hammers. Is that what Hiro is?
What is this?
If it's true, I can't forgive him. No way I can ever forgive him. To kill two of our friends.
that's fine.
Anyway, it's about time we track down the culprit in our little life or death game here. Although this time it's not all that life or death. The trial will conclude without much trouble.
indeed.
Yes, it does look that way. It's going to begin again. We have to go through this one more time. I have to accept it. I have no choice but to... Yeah... I just have to do it, Makoto. It's an annoying game. An annoying person. First, I better check the Monokuma file. Let's see. The victims were Hifumi Yamada and Kijataka Ichimaru. The cause of death for each was a blow to the head. No. One of them died of 2 blows to the head, I think. It is thought that they were both killed with a similar weapon. That's it.
Very strange.
We got way less information this time than before. That is no problem, after all the events of this case unfolded before our very eyes. No, that's not the case. The thing is that they are not telling us at what time they were killed. Because I'm sure that... well, this Hifumi died later, so he must have been hit by something else. We should know more about what happened than the Monokuma file could anyway. Maybe.
Well,
There's something else that's bothering me. Someone else has been missing for quite a while.
perhaps.
You're talking about Kyoko? Without a doubt, she has an alibi for when Celeste and Hifumi were attacked. But what if the killer wasn't acting alone? What if they had an accomplice? An accomplice? An accomplice? What are you doing here?
Monokuma appears!
Don't be rude. I'm here to answer your question. Question?
Yep.
You're talking about accomplices, right? I'm pretty sure I explained it before, didn't I? During the first class trial.
Speaking of which, I'd like to ask the bear, if there is an accomplice, do they also become blackened?
So you ask, and so I shall answer. Each murder is allowed to have an accomplice, but only the one who does the killing will get to graduate.
Does that mean the accomplice dies? Or the accomplice stays inside?
So in other words, 2 people can work together, but one of them has no chance of profiting from it.
Then there's no way anyone would work together, right?
In other words,
In other words, you can be an accomplice if you want, but there's no gratification in it.
so then.
So, are you saying nobody worked together this time either?
Hey,
I can't answer that. It would obstruct the free charge of information between you guys. I just want to make sure you don't forget, no matter how much you might assist in a murder,
Phew.
only one blackened can graduate. An accomplice gets nothing.
So in other words,
So, in other words, then we only need to figure out who that one blackened is that did the killing, right? Just like normal?
Well,
Okay, let me take this opportunity to clarify the whole shebang. In this class trial, what you need to determine is
extreme!
the one true blackened who devised the murder plot and put it into action. The true blackened. So just one person?
Well now.
That's enough for explainifying. Now it's down to the final battle between all of you. And the blackened. Good luck to all the contestants. So there can only be one blackened, an accomplice wouldn't benefit. Then I can see any way Kyoko would be connected to this case after all. You don't think so? I mean, if that's true then, Kyoko, where are you?
However,
As long as she's not connected to the case, it doesn't matter. Let's get back to the investigation. Yeah, it could be many things. For example, yeah, it's going to be something very convoluted. Like Taka made the Robo Justice to kill Hifumi, but then he was killed by the other guy, and then Hifumi came back to life and went there, and I don't know, something like that.
Indeed.
I have absolutely no doubt that Hiro is responsible. But for the time being, I suppose it can't hurt to pursue further information.
So,
You know, don't you think we should consider a certain someone a suspect, just in case? She means Kyoko. I'm talking about the murderous fiend, Genocide Jack. Oh.
What?
What? I'm offended.
Oh,
Yeah,
witch.
When did you? I've been looking all over for you, Master. When I woke up, you were nowhere to be found.
You SOB!
Anyway, you there, milk sack swimmer girl.
Huh? You've gotta be kidding!
What do you... Why do I gotta be a suspect?
What the heck?
I mean, you are a serial killer.
What?
So what? I'm like a special guest suspect every time? I have an alibi, you know. She's right about that. When we heard Hifumi scream, she was with me. And when the bodies disappeared, she was still lying unconscious in the equipment room. Plus, Daga's body aside, I can't imagine any way she would have been able to move Hifumi's body.
Yep.
Besides, I calculate every move I make. I'm not gonna kill someone when everyone knows that what it looked like. They don't call me the murderous Finn for nothing.
What are you saying?
That's not the kind of thing you should be bragging about.
Let's see.
On another topic, should we post a guard by the bodies like before? We can have them disappearing again.
So then...
Hina and I can handle that. You don't mind, do you, Hina? Sure, I'd be totally useless on the investigation anyway.
It's all clear now.
Then that's that, let's begin. This whole thing is so strange. All but one of us has an alibi. So figuring out who did it should be obvious, right? But maybe it's just me, but I don't think it's gonna be as straightforward as it seems. Of course it's not. Okay, let's see. Hifumi's big cold body is lying on the floor. His really big body. I mean, how on earth was a killer able to move someone so big? Second. Alright, from the nurse's office, where he was discovered, to here, the repository, all the way from the first floor to the third, and all without anyone noticing it. Yeah, the thing is that he walked. That's the thing, he wasn't dead. How the hell? It's no good, I just don't get it. I can think about it later. For now, I have to finish investigating Hifumi himself. If I remember correctly, Hifumi's fatal injury was also a blow to the head. Probably from Justice Hammer 3, which was lying on the floor in the nurse's office. Wait. Something off about his body. Why am I getting this feeling? Something's different. Is it? Something about Hifumi's body in the nurse's office versus his body right now. That's it, it's his glasses. When his body was in the nurse's office, his glasses were covered with blood. But now they are completely clean. Does that mean someone wiped his glasses off? But who would do that, and why? Hifumi's glasses have been added to the truth bullet. That's good. Now let's do... What do you think, Hina?
So,
Hey Makoto, I've been thinking about something. It's about the repository. What is it? After Hifumi and Daga's bodies disappeared, we'll split up to look around, right? I was really scared, so me and Sakura stuck together.
but...
And we came right to the repository to, you know, look around. And when we got here, the repository was locked. We couldn't get inside. Oh. So we came here as soon as the search started, so there's no way someone could have beat us here. If that's true, then who locked it? And why is it unlocked now? I wondered the same thing. The door was locked when the search for the bodies began, but now it's wide open. There might be some secret lurking in here, but I'll probably have to leave this area to figure it out. Let's look at this guy. Taka. He'll never move again. According to the Monokuma file, Taka died from a blow to the head. We found Justice Hammer 4 near his body in the equipment room. Is that what was used to kill him? And there's a tarp laid out under his body. Did the killer use this to move Taka's body? Oh. That way there wouldn't be any blood left behind while the body was moved. Blue tarp has been added to the truth bullets. That's interesting. That was very smart. What do you think? There are many aspects of this incident this time. Too many, to be honest. Considering that, it may be good to look back on everything that's happened.
So then...
Would you like my help? Sure. Yeah, let's look back on things. This morning, only 4 of us met up at the dining hall. Hina, Kyoko, you and myself. We waited for the others, but nobody showed up, so we decided to go look for them. It was around 8 o'clock when we began our search. And soon after we split up, Kyoko disappeared. After that, Hina found Celeste in the rec room on the 3rd floor, then quickly came and got you and me. According to Celeste, she was attacked by a suspicious individual and lay unconscious for about an hour. In other words, she was attacked an hour before we found her, meaning just after 7 o'clock. Based on the picture Celeste took, we discovered her attacker was dressed in a strange costume. It was Robo Justice. It also became clear that this Robo Justice had dragged Hifumi away. After meeting up with Toko and Byakuya, we began searching for the costumed assailant. We found an injured Hifumi in the library on the 2nd floor. We took him down to the nurse's office on the 1st floor, then resumed our search. But not long after leaving the nurse's office... What's wrong? I saw a shadow. Something moving around at the top of the stairs. Based on Celeste's claims, we went back up to the 2nd floor where we split up and began searching. Then, right after that, Celeste screamed. This time she had apparently seen the suspect on the 3rd floor. Hearing her screams, we quickly made our way to the 3rd floor. Celeste was wrong. That was rather intense a scream for someone like you. I saw him. The strange costumed man. He ran off as soon as I screamed. I was blocking the stairs, so he headed further down into the hallway and disappeared. And then... yeah! Then we found that Hifumi was apparently killed, but he wasn't killed. At that point we decided to split up into 2 groups. Celeste, Hinaya and I went back to the nurse's office. Meanwhile, you, Byakuya and Toko pursued the suspect up to the 3rd floor. And when we walked back to the nurse's office, we found Hifumi's corpse, which is also when we heard the body discovery announcement play. But it wasn't for Hifumi, it was for Taka. I left Celeste and Hina alone and headed back to the 3rd floor to tell the others what had happened.
However...
But at the same time, we had discovered Taka's body in the equipment room. Which means Hifumi and Taka's bodies were discovered right around the same time. Because I remember hearing the body discovery announcement play right after finding Taka. And that's when I showed up and told you and Byakuya that Hifumi had been killed, right? Then you, me and Byakuya headed all back to the nurse's office, leaving behind Toko, who had fainted. But as soon as we left the physics lab, we ran into Celeste, who just ran. Okay, I remember all that. We hurried back to the nurse's office to discover that his corpse was in fact gone. When we remembered we had abandoned the unconscious Toko, we rushed back to the equipment room. This can't be happening. Are we hallucinated all this or something? This time Taka's body had disappeared. So from there we began our search for the both of the missing bodies. And after some time, Celeste told us she'd found the bodies, and we all headed to the repository. And there we rediscovered the two bodies that had apparently vanished. And that brings us up to now.
However,
Looking back, things have certainly been very active. Indeed. If you want to look back at the case again, just let me know. I'm fine anytime. Thank you, Sakura. Can I leave the room? There is only one way in and out of this room. Through the door that Hina said was locked before. There is definitely a lock on the door, but it can only be locked from inside the repository. I don't see any way to lock it from the art room. The door can only be locked from the inside the repository, which makes me wonder. Hina and Sakura confirmed that the door was locked after we started looking for the missing bodies. And the door is designed so that it can only be locked from inside the repository. In other words, when Hina checked it, someone had already gone in the repository and locked the door. When they were done, they unlocked it and left, which is why it's unlocked now. Good. But Hina claims that there is no way someone could have beaten them to the repository, so that certain someone... Okay. That certain someone was there before. I mean, it wasn't part of our group. Do I have to leave? Should look around a little more. Okay. What about this? There are hammers of all different sizes hanging on the wall, although some are more like mallets. Mallets? Could the Justice hammers be designed using this as a model? Either way, all the hammers here have obviously seen a lot of use. They are all covered in debris and chalky stone powder. Wait. For some reason, this one hammer isn't dirty at all. And it's wet. Did someone wash it recently? Spotless hammer has been added. Maybe they were planning to make it into the hammer, Justice Hammers 5 or 6 or whatever. What do you think, Byakuya? Byakuya, do you think Hiro really did it? I don't see how anyone could think otherwise. When the attacks and murders and disappearances all happened, every one of us had an alibi. And the last thing Hifumi said when he died... Yeah, he said Hiro's name.
So in other words...
Then there is no room to suspect anyone else. Okay, but... if he did do it, why would he be hiding his identity with that weird costume? Maybe he thought that no matter what happened, he'd be safe as long as his face was covered. Because he's the fool of the century, you see. I mean, he is kinda dumb. But do you really think that's enough to explain it? I feel like there's a clue hiding in there somewhere.
What?
Is that it? That's all that bothers you about the case? Well, no, there are a few other things. Like, why did the killer try to hide the bodies? They probably figured that if we wouldn't find the bodies, we wouldn't complete our investigation. But if that's the case, we found the bodies pretty easily, didn't we? Again, it comes back to the fact that the culprit was Morn. Is that really there is to it? Is that really all there is to it? The other thing that bothers me is, why did it bother killing 2 people?
What?
Because all the rule says if you kill someone and get away with it, you graduate, right? So if you're the killer, your number 1 priority is not getting caught. But killing 2 people means more clues, more chances you'll get found out.
I see.
Hold on. Perhaps... I see, so that's what that means. Is everything okay?
That's enough.
Don't talk to me as if we were friends. What with your attitude? But you have my appreciation.
Goodbye.
Thanks to you, I might have some fun with this after all. His mysterious words hung in the air as he left the repository. He talked as if he'd figured something out. As if he did. But if he did, would it have been kill him to tell me what it was? I think we're done here. Let's try to leave. I should look around a little more, huh? What is this? It is a dolly. It doesn't have a handle. I saw this in the art room before. I guess it's used to move statues around. It's kinda awkward, but if you bend down, it's not too hard to use. Huh. But wait. Wasn't this in the equipment room when we found Taka's body? Is that it? To the right? And look at the wheel. There's a blood stain on it. So there's blood on the wheel of the dolly that was moved from the equipment room to the repository. What's the explanation for that? What do you think, you idiot? There's gotta be a clue around here somewhere. Maybe I should check somewhere else. There are some places I already know about. First the nurse's office, where Hifumi was found, then the equipment room, then where Taka was found. Sure. Yes. Okay guys. Next time we're gonna check the nurse's office, or more likely the equipment room, because it's nearer. So, thank you for watching and see you next time. Please leave a comment, like and subscribe and all the good stuff. Goodbye.